How's it going, everybody? It's your boy, Homie G, and I'm back. All right, my little homies, this video is all about the right way to pay for college. So, let me ask you some questions. Do you have a parent or guardian who can afford to pay for all of your costs to attend a four-year university? Do you have a full scholarship to a university? If the answer is yes to any one of those, go ahead and turn this video off because it's not for you. Now, if you answered no and you're like 99.9% of all the other high school seniors and you have a letter of acceptance to a university and you're thinking about whether or not you should commit to go to that university, let me stop you right there. Do not, and I repeat, accept the admissions to that university, to a four-year college right out of high school. It's a mistake, my little homies. You see, right now, college, it's kind of a racket. You're going to be paying way more money than ever before. Why? Because, as you know, the universities and colleges all around the country have just driven the cost up and up. Why? Because they can. Because they have the green light to do so from our government. So, how can you afford to go to college? First of all, do what Homie G did. Okay? Do not go to a four-year college right out of high school. I didn't. I went to a two-year college, aka a JC, junior college, or community college. So I spent 2 years at San Jose City, actually. I almost forgot. It's been a while. It's in the late 90s. I was at San Jose City from 1994, summer of 94 till summer of 96. And while I was there, I learned so much about myself, first of all, and I also learned about life. Why? Because I attended night classes and I would get to meet grown-ups. I was a high school graduate. These were people that were already in a job or something and a career, and they were trying to move up in the world. So I specifically took night classes, and I got to meet a lot of adults. I mean, I was an adult too, but 18, 19, I mean, you're still a kid. So anyway, it was very enlightening, and I really enjoyed my time at San Jose City. Go Jags. And I got my AA. Okay, so you get an AA, Associates of Arts, or some other, if you want, you could actually go and get some sort of trade degree. Junior colleges are great for that too. And then you don't have to go to a four-year college. After that, you don't have to transfer. You can go to work right away. So while I was at San Jose City, I applied for financial aid and I got some. And I worked part-time. So I got to save some money. I got to have some spending money, and I had financial aid to cover a lot of my costs. So it worked out really well for me, except that I did take some classes that weren't transferable to UC Santa Barbara, where I ended up going. And so you should make sure to speak with the counselor at the junior college you're going to go to and discuss taking all of the courses that you're going to take being transferable to the university that you're going to transfer to. Very important. Otherwise, when you submit your transcripts to the university, the four-year university, they're going to look through them all and figure out which ones transfer and which ones do not. And you might have to take, like Homie G, 3 additional classes. I took 3 additional classes. You might not have to take any if your counselor nails it, you and your counselor. So that responsibility falls mostly on you, but speaking with the counselor will help. You're going to save a lot of money, a ton of money. Instead of paying for 2 years at a university for your general education classes, your English, your history, your math, whatever. Tuition is going to be a whole lot less at a junior college per unit, and you're going to save a bunch of money. Plus, if you kind of juggle the schedule around, you're going to get to meet people from other walks of life, of course, just like in any other college or university, but also age-wise. You're going to get to meet more people that already have had 10 plus years of their life post high school, which is good for you. Okay, not like a college setting where everybody's kind of around the same age, and wisdom wise, advice wise, everybody is just trying to, peck at life and grab wisdom as it comes to them. So another benefit of a junior college. Again, make sure you get certified for all those classes so that they transfer. And here's another tip. Please do not take more than 3 years to finish your AA or your 2-year degree. So that means being maybe not a full-time student 100% of the time, but maybe you're 75 to 80% time with classes. That's a semester. You might take 4 out of 5 classes. If it's a quarter, you might take 3 out of 4 classes, for example. That way you can work for those 3 years. If you finish your AA in 2.5 years, then you have a half year to work 2 part-times or maybe a full-time for 6 months if you can get away with it with your employer, ramping up your hours. Then what are you going to do with that money? You're going to put it in a brokerage account. I suggest a brokerage account at a bank, your institution. And since you can't lose that money, you can't be investing it with risky assets like stocks. I would say for the time being, for those 2.5 to 3 years, put it in something called a money market fund. Money market, you could actually get an exchange traded fund, an ETF, that specifically has money market instruments in the fund. So these will give you a little premium above a regular savings account, meaning you'll make a little money, better than chump change, which is like a penny a year. You might make a little here and there with an ETF, exchange traded fund that holds money market. It's a lot safer than investing in stocks. Why? Because you cannot afford to lose the money you're going to need for your last 2 to 2.5 years at the university of your choice when you do indeed transfer. Okay, so I suggest work really hard during that time. You're living with your parents, so don't be unruly. Do not get kicked out at 18 because you're just a jerk. Tell your parents, I'm gonna be a 75 to 80% time student at the local JC. I'm gonna be working, and my goal is to save at least 1 more year at the 4-year university. So that would be anywhere from $30K to, depending where you decide to go, $40K. Can you save that in 3 years? You most certainly can if you work at it hard enough. If you're living at home with very little expenses, if your parents want to charge you rent, tell them, please forgive my rent. I will do chores, extra chores. I'll mow the lawn. I'll do whatever it takes, wash your cars every weekend, just so I can pocket all of my earnings from my part-time job and be saving for 3 years in my ETF money market account. I set up a brokerage account with the bank of my choice online, and you're just stuffing that fund, future college fund, for your junior year. I don't know if you'll make more than that, be able to save more than that, but at least you'll have your 3rd year of college financed. Now, what about your senior year, your last year of college? And that might take you a year, hopefully, if you're really working hard, to another 1.5 years. What do you do with that? How do you get funding for that? Well, that's where you're going to have to get into applying for financial aid. If you get no financial aid, is it okay to take a loan? Yes. At that point in time, I would say go ahead and take a year, a loan, an additional loan for your last year of college, maybe your last not 12 months, but 18 months, whatever. Maybe you have a year and a half left. And then it's okay. Now, there's a big difference between you racking up 30K to 40K per year for 4 years because you decided to go straight from high school to a 4-year university. You're looking at 100,000, maybe even more in debt, my little homies, which is a no-no. You're already shooting yourself in the foot for life with that kind of a hole of that much debt, okay? So that's why I say work 3 years. Now, why 3 years also? Because you get in your mind the kind of pace it's going to take for you to graduate from your university the last 2 years. If you decide to take more time to finish junior college, it's more than 3 years, you're going at it too slow. You're not going to get the right programming in your mind for pace of achieving your degree in a reasonable amount of time. So when you do transfer, you're going to be like, what's this? How come I have so many midterms? How come I have all of this work? It's overwhelming. It's too much. So I say stick to a 2.5 to 3 year plan for finishing junior college. And while you're doing that, saving for your junior year, your senior year, okay, take a loan out. You might end up with a college debt of 30K to 40K for your last year, year and a half. But trust me, it's a lot better than 100 to 120,000, which is what most 4-year university students, I don't know if that's the average, but I'm hearing it's quite a bit now. Not since my day, back in the day, when we used to go to college in the late 90s, it was a whole lot cheaper, okay? And it's not the inflation, because it's beyond the inflation. These universities are taking advantage of you, my little homies. It's a financial racket for themselves to make themselves rich and not you, okay? You come out poor if you did not major in a good STEM major or some sort of computer major or some sort of high-paying major. You're going to be in the serious world of hurt. So yes, if you're going to go to college, and I made a video about what to major in, there's definitely people that should go to college and there's definitely people that should not, based on the economics, money, and based on what's out there right now in the current workforce. I made a video, I have a book on that as well. Look up, Success for Minority Teens on Amazon, little plug. Other than that, I have it laid out here for you. Do not commit to a 4-year right out of high school unless you have a full scholarship or your parents are rich, loaded, and they're going to pay for your 4 years of college. All right, my little homies, thank you for being here, and I'm out. Deuces.